Hi, I'm Dr. Arlene Diamco. I'm an integrative physician, a cranial osteopath, and a pediatrician with All Worlds Health in Roswell, Georgia. I'm going to be going to New Smyrna in just under 2 weeks to be teaching TRE, which stands for Tension and Trauma Release Exercises. And I know that many of you may not know me, but I wanted to tell you why I actually teach this class. It is the gift that keeps on giving, because as a cranial osteopath, I do a lot of hands-on treating and healing, but so many people ask me, what can I do to help myself? What else can I do to support myself? Well, this is one of those things, because TRE, or tension trauma release exercises, helps us to access a de-stress reflex that's in our bodies. So many of us have maybe forgotten this reflex or suppressed it for social cultural reasons. But Dr. David Bruschelli, who developed these set of exercises, he actually studied stress and trauma all over the world. So he was in extremely stressed areas in war zone countries. And what he noticed was that when something very stressful happens, like a bomb goes off, that everybody curled in, like fetal position. There's some kind of contraction in the body. And then just by observing, he also noticed that when things calmed down, the kids would tend to start trembling or shaking. The adults tended to do that less for social cultural reasons. If we think about trembling or shaking, often we think of it as a sign of weakness, something's wrong with us. But if we learn to see this as this reflex in the body, because the kids were doing it as more like a natural physiological reflex to shake off the stress of the incident. And this is really amazing, because many of us have felt like that before. Maybe we let ourselves shake, maybe we didn't. But it could be before public speaking. It could be with great grief, like at a funeral. It could be before a wedding, so with great excitement. You get those kind of nervous jitters. Sometimes you'll see people kind of bouncing their knees, or maybe you do that, and maybe the instinct is kind of, well, that's kind of weird. I don't want to do that. Or you have someone else stop that if they're shaking their knees. But if you start to see it as like, oh my, why does the body want to do this? It is wanting to shake off the stress of the incident to help reset and return to a normal state of balance. Nature loves a balance, and we are part of nature. So even though there is a stress response, there's also a de-stress response. And the two need to balance for us to feel good and feel just to have a sustainable life and just feel like ourselves. You see it in animals too. So sometimes the thunder goes off and the dogs will start shaking immediately. So it's really neat once you start to see different examples in animals. I'll see it in horses too. They just get this majestic tremble through them. And we can learn how to re-access this reflex through a set of physical exercises that Dr. David Bruschelli developed. So one, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Two, sometimes we've been through things that are too overwhelming to talk about, or maybe just don't feel like talking. If that's the case, you can always go to the body. The body knows how to return to balance if we let it. So TRE, instead of like a mind-body exercise, to me, it is like a body-mind exercise. So by working with the body, by listening to the body and allowing the body to speak, we can change so much, get more peace, sleep better, improve digestion. And these are all examples that I've seen many times. I've taught this class for extremely stressed areas, like in the wildfires in California, or people displaced from the hurricanes in the Caribbean, this past weekend in Parkland, Florida for communities affected by the MSD shooting last year. So it was developed for trauma, but is also very useful for just regular stress. So I teach this in my practice on a regular basis, and my patients, they love it. It's one of the best things they have for sleeping if they do it before bedtime. I've heard so many people that had lots of difficulty sleeping tell me that they just sleep so much better. And personally, just for digestive issues, it is really great. It just helps to like ease your belly and help it relax and keep it regular. And releasing any tension in the body, those aches or pains, because the body keeps your whole story, everything you've ever been through, the body holds on to it unless it's been able to process. So if we allow the tension to release, then we welcome that energy back to us, because the tension's like trapped energy. So with these exercises, we can help release it. Some people refer to TRE as a shaking meditation, which it really is. So I hope that you get a chance to join me. And it is one of the most remarkable classes that I've been to, and it's one of the greatest classes that I teach, because once you learn it, then you have a choice. You can continue to do these exercises on your own if you would like. We do give you the booklet, so you don't have to remember everything. You'll have all the instructions to go with it. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you soon.